Okay, let's talk about it. One of the most iconic games ever made is coming back in a huge, huge way. We're diving into the massive announcement of a ground-up remake of the original Halo, and it's officially called Halo Campaign Evolved. Yeah, you heard that right. A quarter century after it basically redefined the first-person shooter, Master Chief's very first journey is being completely rebuilt. I mean, from scratch, for a whole new generation of players. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? To secure its future, Halo is taking this massive leap backward, into its own past. Is that the right play? Well, let's get into it. All right, so first up, Halo's great return. Why is this even happening right now? Well, to really get it, we've got to look at where the franchise stands today. Look, let's be real here. After that original Bungie trilogy, Halo's kind of struggled to keep its crown, you know? Even Halo Infinite, which had a pretty solid launch, just lost steam. The content updates took forever, so the thinking at Microsoft seems to be, okay, to move forward, we actually need to go all the way back. Back to the very beginning, to what made Halo, well, Halo. Okay, this part is super important because, look, we've seen Halo 1 get a re-release before, right? But what they're doing for 2026, this is a whole different beast. So first, let's just get the definitions straight. A remake isn't just a simple visual touch-up. It's not just new graphics. It's like taking the original blueprints for a house, tearing it down to the studs, and building a brand new, modern house on that same foundation. And this right here shows you exactly what I mean. Remember the 2011 Anniversary Edition? That was a remaster. That was the new coat of paint we were talking about, slapped right on top of the original 2001 game code. But this 2026 Campaign Evolved, this is the remake, a total rebuild from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, which is, I mean, it's one of the most powerful game engines on the planet right now. Now, the timing of all this is really interesting. The official plan seems to be November 2026, which lines up perfectly with that 25th anniversary. Makes sense, right? But the rumor mill is churning. A lot of folks are saying it might drop in the summer instead. And the reason is pretty simple. You do not want to go head-to-head with the absolute juggernaut that's going to be Grand Theft Auto 6. A new engine is a big deal, for sure. But it's not the biggest shift we're talking about here. Not even close. The very idea of who gets to play Halo, well, that's about to change. Forever. And here it is. This was the bombshell, the one thing nobody saw coming. Halo is no longer an Xbox exclusive. I'll say that again. For the first time ever, a core Halo campaign is breaking free from the Xbox bubble right at launch. And this just lays it all out. Look at that. Xbox, PC, and, yep, PlayStation 5, all on day one. This is a massive change in strategy. It basically shows that Microsoft thinks the Halo brand is now big enough to stand on its own, even outside of its home turf on Xbox. So how are we all going to play together? Well, the focus is 100% on the co-op campaign. We're getting 2-player local split screen, yes, couch co-op is back, and 4-player online co-op. And it's all got full crossplay, which is awesome. But, and this is a big but, there's no competitive multiplayer at launch. None. They're putting all their energy into making that campaign experience perfect. So we know it's a remake, we know where we can play it, but what's actually new in the game besides the pretty graphics? Get this. On top of the original 10 missions, they're adding 3 brand new ones. And the coolest part? They're apparently based on ideas that Bungie, the original creators, had way back when, but had to cut for time to get the game out the door in 2001. So it's like we're getting a piece of lost Halo history. And the list of upgrades is just huge. Okay, on the tech side, full rebuild in that new engine, 4K visuals, slick new animations. On the audio side, remastered music and totally re-recorded voice lines. And for gameplay, this is big. They're beefing up the sandbox. They're pulling in some of those fan-favorite weapons and vehicles from the later Halo games. And it's not just about adding new stuff, they're also fixing things. The creative director basically came out and said they're using this as a chance to fix old problems. So for anyone who's ever had nightmares about getting lost in those endless copy-pasted hallways of the library, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they're apparently giving that a much-needed overhaul. Thank goodness. All right, so this all brings us back to where we started. The big question. Will this actually save the franchise? I mean, this is their whole strategy right here. They're betting the farm on nostalgia. But it's not just nostalgia. It's a supercharged, modernized, expanded version of it. The plan is to take this story that everybody loves, remake it for today, and put it in front of this huge new audience on PlayStation. The hope is that it'll reignite that spark for the entire Halo universe. And in the end, that's the question that only 2026 can answer. Is this remake the launchpad for the next 25 years of Halo? A move that proves this story is absolutely timeless? Or is it just a beautiful final look back at the glory days, a final celebration of a legend whose best years are already in the rearview mirror? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.